They say our existence is against the religion, the world is a prism, but their thoughts have a different conclusion. They think the angles are only 3, he, she, and everyone that shouldn't be. They think in this world, queer doesn't belong, and our being is nothing but wrong. Their love is love, and ours is a hideous sight. What they see is the rainbow we form, but can't notice that we are essentially the same light. It's just when we enter the prism of sexuality, you pass straight and we create diversity. Remove that prism, we, like you, are a part of humanity. We are the same light. Then why is there hate, discrimination, and insanity? Why are we still fighting this fight? And that was by Mahesh Mali. Snap, 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 snap.
Snaps. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Pew,
pew.
I'm Danny.
And I am Steph.
Welcome to Not in Our Will. This is the podcast of two ladies in our 30s
navigating the trials and
tribulations
of life. Raw, real, and ready to talk.
And we did it. We made it through.
We made it through.
Well, fitting for our last episode of season 1.
Season 1 is complete.
Guys, we made it like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
21 episodes.
21 episodes. Almost every week. We missed a few.
Yeah, I mean COVID, you know.
COVID, yeah. Things happen.
Things happen.
But just to say it off the top, thank you guys for being such a huge support to us. Honestly, we get messages. They might not be comments on our videos, which help, but it's okay. We do get messages and we love them because some of you guys are just like literally the sweetest people ever.
Yeah, we get a lot of feedback and a lot of people will be like, oh, I listened to your podcast. And we're like, oh, you
people
poor
that
thing.
you know I haven't. I'm so sorry to put you through that.
Yeah.
But like people that I haven't talked to in like 10 years reach out to me and said like, you know, this is great and. So thank you to everybody who listens.
Keep supporting. We appreciate it. We love you so much. So we figured, you know,
go out with a bang.
Let's go out with a bang and celebrate love in general, right? Woo! And it's Pride Month, so it worked out perfectly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we are going to take a break.
Yeah.
I think we were doing 1 month, 2 months.
We're going to play it by ear. We both have a very, very busy summer.
Extremely busy summer.
She just moved and she's still in the moving thing and I'm going to be moving. So our initial plan was to come back in August, but we might come back in September. We're going to see how it goes. Mm-hmm. But regardless, we'll be back to at least finish off the year and then we'll see what happens. There. Yeah.
See if you still like us by then.
Yeah. See if we still like us by then.
Yeah. True. Who knows? Fuck.
But yeah, so no episodes coming in for sure in July, and then we'll let you know. Yeah, maybe some posts here and there of just how we're doing and stuff like that, and some questions, some Instagram, you know,
updates. You know how it is. Yeah, we'll update you.
But yeah, so today we're talking about Pride.
Yeah, Pride Month.
It is Pride Month. Have you ever been to a Pride parade?
I have not, which is super bummer. I really want to go.
I really want to go to a Pride parade. People bring their kids, and I'm like,
well, of course.
I'm like, this could be as a mom, I'm like, I love this. I'm a very honest mom. Mm-hmm. Let's throw it in there. There's just going to be, I think, a lot of penises and boobies and stuff that I'm not sure if I'm ready.
Like out and about?
That's my only concern.
You know what you should do instead? Take them to a drag show.
Okay, fun.
Might be a little vulgar, but there's probably some that are more child friendly.
Yeah. Regardless, the conversation is had all the time. And, you know, when people be like, oh, you have any girlfriends? And I'll always be like, or boyfriends.
Yeah.
I literally always say it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just how she rolls.
Yeah.
How she rolls. Okay, I have like a bunch of different facts. I mean, the thing with LGBTQ2+, which let me explain if you don't know what LGBTQ2+ is. So that right then and there is just a way to kind of how do we say this? Like put a name, give you a jumping off point to talk about anybody who is gay, bisexual, lesbian, non-binary, queer, transgender. So, but it is constantly changing. So they've now added the 2 at the end of it, which the 2, and I'm going to read what that means because this is something that Steph and I learned just now, which I thought was really interesting. Hold on, I'm just going to find it here. There it is. So the 2 stands for, L, lesbian, G, gay, B, bisexual, T, transgender, Q is queer or questioning, and then the 2 is for two-spirit. So two-spirit, also known as 2S or occasionally two-spirited, is modern pan-Indian umbrella term used by indigenous North Americans to describe Native people in their communities who fulfill a traditional third gender or other gender variant, ceremonial and social role in their cultures. So a lot of the times they do identify with some sort of spiritual animal. So that is now part of that umbrella LGBT grouping.
Yeah, the name.
So, let's see here. So let's start. I just got so many different facts.
She's got all the facts today. Guys.
We can talk about so many different things. Well, what do you want to know? Do you want to know facts? Do you want to know where Pride came from? Do you want Okay. Well, those are 2 different things, Steph.
Where Pride came from.
Okay, let's start there.
Yeah.
So, we'll start with, the first Pride Parade started in June 28th, 1970.
Ooh.
Okay. Around noon in New York, gay activist groups held their own Pride Parade known as Christopher Street Liberation Day to recall the events of Stonewall, which happened the year earlier. So if you don't know what Stonewall is, basically, and I might put up a picture here if you're on YouTube, but Stonewall was this bar. They made it into like a nightclub bar in 1969. It was run by mafia. So with that being said, they could get around the police. But with that being said, that's why a lot of the LGBTQ community felt safe there because they know it was not necessarily going to be raided, or if it was usually maybe, I don't know, like maybe gentler because they had connection. Well, at least the owners had connection. Yeah. However, so I'm just going to read it because it's really well written here. So, let me find it. Okay. So this was a gay establishment in the 1950s and 60s, and it was an inn, a Stonewall Inn, operated by the mafia. And this Stonewall Inn served as a really safe place for the gay community to gather, considered the state of laws at the time, which outlawed any form of outwardly homosexual affection. This place was a really good place for them to come feel safe and enjoy their night and hang out. Because a lot of places, they basically, like, part of the issue was they demanded a minimum of 3 pieces of clothing that were gender appropriate. Like, they had like weird things like that just couldn't let you express yourself. Whereas Stonewall, again, was that safe haven for them. So on the night of June 28, 1969, it was not the police, because the police and the mafia worked together, so that wasn't the issue. But instead, it was the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms that raided the Stonewall, allowing for the bootleg liquor. So that event led to altercations from there, differing depending on the witnesses. But as the raids continued, the crowd outside of Stonewall grew, and a physical confrontation occurred between the crowd and the agency. And this became a monumental time, because that was the beginning, and that started the build for following days after, which created the gay liberation, basically. So that was the pivotal moment in 1969 at Stonewall Inn to start this gay liberation and push the mobilization of the LGBTQ activism, which has never ceased to this day. So it's still thriving, and now we have so many ways to celebrate. And then the following year, they just started the Pride Parade to celebrate. So Pride Parade, I just like, they're everywhere. I would love to go to one.
We wanted to like, we were going to do a show there, but life happens. I moved and things get busy.
It's too busy.
But maybe next year. But yeah, I've always wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So much fun.
And then I was looking up, trying to, like, have you ever been to drag show?
Like a full-blown drag show, no, but I have been to the queer theater called Buddies in Bad Times Theater in Toronto. And most of the stuff that they do is based on LGBTQ plus.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
I went to, it was for my friend's bachelorette, and we went, we kind of just like spontaneously chose a bar, and it was a drag. Like there was
so fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
The crowd was wild.
Oh yeah. I want to go to one so bad.
It's amazing.
Show? Yeah.
Like if you like anything that's just theatrical like that, man, you'll have a blast, because these women and they put their heart and soul into this show.
They do.
Into their costumes, and a lot of times they make their own costumes, which already, if you don't know sewing, like that is a skill to make your own clothes.
And their makeup takes so long. Have you ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yes.
I fucking love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's one of my faves. I watch it all the time.
And there's like Australia and like UK, and
but you really see the whole process of what they do to get into their garb.
I actually don't find that they show enough of the process, because
it would be cooler to see
them actually like show them making their garments, because a lot of time they show them like, you know, a little bit, but they just do the interviews and then the shows, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but
and they show a little bit of like them talking as they're putting on their makeup and stuff, but like seeing the whole process,
which takes probably hours. Like I would love to see like a timer in the corner,
because they have to shave.
Yep. And color correct.
They usually glue the eyebrows. Yep. Easy. And then their wigs. Oh my God, some of their hairs.
I know.
Beautiful.
Yep. So I looked up, because I thought it was interesting. Okay, let's look up the first known drag queen. So the first known drag queen describes himself as the Queen of Drag is William Dorsey Swan. So this man was born enslaved in Hannock, Maryland, who in the 1880s, I know, right?
Wow.
1880s. Started hosting drag balls. Fucking balls.
Hell yeah.
In Washington, D.C., attended by other men who were formerly enslaved and often raided by police, as documented in the newspaper. But I just thought that was so interesting.
That is so cool.
1880s.
Hell yeah. Get it.
And
I'm all for it.
I'll post a photo.
That's
because
amazing. Yeah, post a photo. I want to see. Can I see?
Yeah.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Yeah. Because you imagine the gowns from the 1880s in drag. Like, come on. But that's the thing, right? Like, society has made queer, and I'm just going to use queer as the umbrella term, but has made that to be such just a terrible thing. I just don't fucking get it.
I know.
Because do you not recall that, like, in the 1880s, in the 1860s, and whatever, men were wearing wigs, men were wearing makeup,
powdering their faces,
men were wearing high heels.
Yeah.
Where did we lead astray, guys? Like, what happened? War turned men into many men.
Yeah, I don't know. And people don't like what they can't understand. And if say you're
the fear of the not knowing.
Yeah, right. So if you're straight and you were brought up with religion saying no, that's not right, then you're gonna say no, that's not right.
Yeah. It's just it's mind blowing to me that this is still a thing.
I know, it's sad.
It's very sad. I really feel for anybody who has to come out or anybody who has to go through that experience, because that is probably very difficult.
Especially if you, it's probably it's difficult within itself, I'm sure, but especially if you have family and friends who aren't supportive.
Right.
So it's like either you live and be yourself and your true identity of who you want to be as a person.
Yep.
Or you lose everybody that you love around you.
So this is a fact from LGBT in America. 42% of people who are LGBT report living in an unwelcoming environment. 42%.
Yeah.
Are you fucked?
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
80% of gay and lesbian youth report severe social isolation.
That makes me so
6
sad.
in 10 LGBT students report feeling unsafe at school.
Like from bullies, probably? Yeah.
that's the thing, right? Like, sorry, I'm reading as I'm kind of talking here. It's just that fear of the unknown. I think people really need to get over it for more than one thing. Now, I'm going to go off of the LGBT train here just for a second, because I think this is a bigger issue. The fear of the unknown, that comes with people being fearful of death, people being fearful of heights, people being fearful of flying. And I mean, it's easier said than done to be like, well, just don't be afraid of it. It's not that. Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry. It's not that you have to get over the fear of it. It's the it's either accepting that it's okay to not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the hugest thing.
Humans can't do that, though.
Humans can do that.
Some, but some can't.
Well, this is my thing.
Because there always has to be an answer to the question.
But you don't need an answer.
No, that's exactly it. But some people don't see it that way, right? So it's for religion, for example.
Yeah.
It's the fear of death and what if after. But guess what? If you don't know, you don't fucking know.
And that's okay.
And leave it at that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, because, I mean, why does your neighbor fucking a man, or like a man fucking a man, why does that
matter?
Why does that matter? I just don't understand
exactly.
that, right?
Why does that matter to you? Why it does not affecting you in any sort of
and that's the thing. Like, if somebody wants to jump on a plane, let them jump on a plane.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to
Their
go swim with the
choice.
sharks, let them go swim with the sharks.
Exactly. Their choice, right? Like, it's
and I do understand, like, things within reason. There's laws for reasons. There's this for reasons. But this shouldn't be a law. The fact that you want to just love somebody.
Yeah.
That should not.
Love is love.
That is, again, controlling people. And there's different, like, there's controlling for safety, and I understand that. For the well-being of majority of population and humanity, whatever you want to say. Putting laws on human beings, that ain't helping nobody. No. It's not helping a single human being.
I know. It's messed.
It's making it worse.
It sure is, my friend. It sure is.
So I'm going to try to find, hold on, there was something else here.
Yeah.
So same-sex sexual activities were made lawful in Canada in 1969. A section of the criminal code in reference to anal intercourse was repealed in June 2019. So, like, that's what I mean. Like, conversion therapy, get this.
Yeah,
so
it was
if you don't know
just banned.
So if you don't know what conversion therapy is, it's basically certain people.
I'll say it. Generally right-winged religious people
that think that being gay, lesbian, A, B, C, D are, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that offensively, LGBTQ, anybody within that community is that it's a fad, it's a phase, it's changeable, it's a trend.
It's almost like they treat it like it's a disorder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
An illness. We just need some medicine. We just need to go to therapy. We just need to fix it. So conversion therapy is literally parents shipping off their children to these facilities where they try to play you videos.
Pray the gay away. Basically.
I'm like, what does that sound? It's Cash snoring.
Yeah. So, and that was just banned in Canada.
Conversion therapy illegal under federal law since January 7th, 2022.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And there's actually a lot of political parties that have come out of the woodwork after COVID and everything. They strapped on to these radical people who have these radical beliefs. And some of the political parties now are saying we should bring it back, like conversion therapy. So, like, for instance, the PPC party thing. Yeah. So, I mean, and people weren't doing their research, right? When it comes to that, because all they were seeing with a political party like that was, yay, no more masks, no more mandates, no more like vaccine passports. So many people jumped train to that political party. Do you remember this?
Not seeing.
It was everywhere. And they didn't do their fucking research and see that these people are not allies to humans.
Yep.
right? For their stance for abortion was, we don't have a stance, which means they have a fucking stance. They just haven't said it yet. Right. And it's the same thing. They were not allies to the queer community at all.
I just, I don't want to repeat myself. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Why is the need for controlling people
because humans think my way is the best way, right? Or like my way of living, my thought train, my thought process is the best. How dare you tell me otherwise?
I've said this on a previous episode and I will repeat it again and again. And I tell this to my children all the time. We are not different people. We are all one on the same damn planet.
Yeah,
and we have to treat each other the same. Mm-hmm. We respect each other the same. There's no difference in color. There's no difference in culture. Well, within reason, we have to be respectful of that. That's what I mean. Like it's okay to be different. And we need to not be fearful of it. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like I was looking up, the timeline of LGBT history. Like 9,600 BCE. Like they already had images and stuff of homosexual. Like Also, another thing that we talked about, just to like throw it out here, Steph and I were like trying to figure out what's BCE.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out. We thought it was before Christ existed.
Well, I don't know about they existed, but I remember before Christ, right? And then we looked it up and it's before the Common Era. And I'm like, were we just so fucked that in our religious upbringing or whatever?
I didn't.
So how do you think it was before Christ? That's what I
always thought it was before Christ existed.
But see, and this is a thing that I've thought about forever. It's like, how did that, why, like, what about the people that don't believe in Christ? Like, I've always thought of that. Because it's not. It's BC. I mean, unless is there a before Christ somewhere else in here? I don't know. I don't think so.
No? I don't know. Yeah, I definitely thought it was that.
Where was it? I want to see. Okay. In 2400 BCE, excuse me, because I am definitely going to say this wrong. Knuhotep and Nikak-Humn are believed to be the first recorded same-sex couple in history.
Wow.
2400 BCE.
Damn.
And you're telling me we're still trying to fight this shit?
Yeah. Like, get over it, fucktards.
I just don't get it.
It makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Makes no damn sense.
So what to you, when you think of pride, like what is that to you?
To me, it's celebrating humans.
Perfect.
It's celebrating love and the fact that we can love and we do love whoever we want to. Yeah, that to me is pride.
I think that is a great description of it. I grew up being in theater all the time. I was surrounded by, I mean, that's just a stereotype in a way, but I was truly surrounded by, because I think because we were always so open, and because a lot of the times for people that are in the closet when they're growing up, putting on a costume and becoming somebody else is a subconscious way of you having some moments and being able to express yourself differently. So I think that's a reason why a lot of people get into theater or drag or acting or this or that, right? Because it's an excuse, an acceptable excuse.
To be somebody that you're not, right? You get out of your own skin for a while.
So I grew up with tons of gay, lesbian, bisexual people around me, and then as we got older and I moved into university is when I started being more confronted with transgender and that, or at least in high school, maybe we weren't there. I remember in high school, that term wasn't really a thing.
No, there was, I mean,
I'm sure there were.
Yeah.
But that term to me was not, I knew bi, I knew gay, I knew lesbian. I knew queer, I understood that. And I understood the derogatory terms. But these other sections of it, I did not, I was not aware of. I full-heartedly believe they were there. I just think we weren't educated. I think the whole society in general was not educated enough to know. So now these terms are coming into play, and people are being like, whoa, why so many? What is it? But it's a way to give people something, like, you know, it's their own category. Let them have it. Who gives a fuck? Let them let there be 26 letters in the alphabet, 42 numbers, and throw it into the name. Exactly. Do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
We're here to support however that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember growing up in university, and this is a moment that really stuck out to me, and funnily enough, I do still connect with this person, and I did ask them, but our times didn't meet up, so I was gonna have them on.
We still will.
Yeah, hopefully we will still have them in the future. But I'm gonna do a shout out to my friend Claire.
Hey, Claire.
So, hi Claire. But I remember when we were in university together, we were in theater together. At this point, Claire was transitioning. Mm-hmm. Claire and I were not that good of friends, but because you're in a specific program, you're in many classes together, so you see each other all the time, right? But at this time, and Claire would, and I'm going to do this because I haven't spoken to Claire specifically about details, I'm going to try to be as cautious, but this was just such an important moment for me that I feel it needs to be spoken about, so I really need to say it. But at this time, Claire was using what I would assume be their dead name now.
Right,
okay, so they were still in this transition. There was minimal makeup, there wasn't any of the, so to me, I'm just like, okay, it's a gay man, because I think at that time that's what he was. And I can't remember if that was told to me or whatever it was, but that's what my assumption was. And I've learned always, you never assume, because you literally never know.
Yeah, exactly.
But there was a project that I was working on, and I remember asking Claire to just for some advice. We were just shooting the shit, talking about it and stuff. And during my presentation to my class, I mentioned him, and I said he, and I would use he and the dead name, and he. Right. And when I got back to my desk, Claire slid me a note that had asterisks she. And I literally looked at it, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand. She pulled me aside, and she's like, oh, I'm transitioning. I go by she. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I did not know that. And she's like, you know what? How would you have known that?
Yeah.
So this is the thing. There is this really odd touchiness that comes on both sides.
Yeah.
But I think that moment to me, one, taught me that you cannot assume anything. And at that moment, it's best to ask. I think it's really good to take that step forward to ask.
What do you like to go by? Like your
which is becoming more known. I just with my work, we work for the bank, and they just had a meeting about Pride, and they talked about a really small change that we can make is just adding our pronouns in our email signature.
There's already a bunch of that at my work.
Oh, for sure. Same with ours, for sure. But it's just a way to be like, you are an ally. It's those simple little things that really can give anybody in the LGBT community like a place to be safe. Like, okay, they're fine. I can trust them, you know? And I think that's really important, because a lot of times they don't know who to trust.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even with us straight people, like, I don't know who to trust.
Yeah, it's so true.
Right? So for them, they have this added thing. For a black LGBTQ person, they have an added thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
so much, but it's just better to ask questions.
For sure.
To be an ally, I feel like you have to ask questions.
But I think I cannot speak for Claire herself, but I feel like that moment maybe could have been a learning experience for her as well, because in that moment it seemed like she learned something, being like, you know what, I can't assume that you know what's going on. You're just open and welcoming, and that's fine. But without her telling me, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't recall if maybe during when we were talking about the project, I never even said he. I just said, because I'm talking directly to them, and just used their name. And at the name, again, it was a male name. It was going by that. So for me, it didn't.
No,
but totally. I think that moment will stick in my head for forever long, just as a learning experience. And it really opened my eyes to be like, there's way more than I know and at that time I didn't know shit all.
Yeah.
I mean, at this time I still don't know shit all, but
yeah, I had a friend when I was in hair school. It was the same thing. She was trans, but transitioning from he to she.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. But I mean, she was already further along in the process, right? So I noticed her with her makeup and her, you know, becoming a woman. So I instantly called her a she.
Yeah.
Because you know, but it depends on where you are in the transitioning process, right? Because it's such a long process, and some people go in and out of it too, and they're not sure. Like, you really don't know.
And like, there's so many little nuances that we as straight white women like don't think about, like the fact that they have to change their ID, that one,
change their name,
that is a very emotional, very difficult thing.
Absolutely, because imagine being transitioned, and then getting ID'd, and it's your dead name, and it's your, and
you no longer match that person. You know, and that's the thing, it's I've come across moments where people are being discriminated because of their sex, because of this, and it's really sad to see that we're still so far behind. I know. Humanity's a piece of shit sometimes. Basically.
Pretty much. I mean, fucking let love be love.
Yeah.
Get over it.
I think so, you know, and I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. The thing is, it says we as adults are paving the way for our younger generations. Now, I will say that as a millennial, I can promise you that the Gen X, which I think is the one below us,
I think so, yeah,
they're doing it 10 times better than we are.
Oh my God, yeah. They already are using pronouns.
And everything is pronouns.
Everything is pronouns.
And it's just, again, it's the simplest thing. And there's always going to be the one-off asshole, the outlaw liar that, you know, just wants to ruin it for everybody. That's welcome to the world. But, you know, the Gen Z is really doing something. And a lot of the older generations, like Boomer and whatever else, they I don't want to say make fun of, but they essentially make fun of the Gen Z for being so progressive.
Yeah. Like, and what is so wrong with being progressive, though, right? Like, as a humanity, we have to progress. We evolve. This is part of our human evolution.
Yeah.
To get progressive, to get away from all this hatred and discrimination and all of that, right?
It's about being able to accept it, because, as we've said, it's been here for centuries,
forever, as long as humans were around.
It's part of who we are. Like, I think we all got a little in us, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Danny and I say it all the time. We wish we were lesbians.
Yeah,
because it would be way easier.
Yeah, sorry, I'm bitter about men, but that's fine.
Yeah, we're also bitter about men, but we just you know, but I don't know. I guess every relationship has their problems, but I mean, still, men can be stupid.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because, like, even to this day, I'll have like my mom and my dad, I mean, again, they're old, they're immigrants, so they're old school. It's very hard. The boomers, it's very hard for them to, but like, they'll use it as an identifier. Oh, the lesbian girl down the street. Okay.
The girl down the street.
Yeah, that's fine.
The person down the street.
I know,
not even the girl. The person,
the thing, right?
The human down the street.
That over there.
Yeah.
I do understand that it feels like it's moving maybe really fast, or that it's a lot to understand. But it's not even about understanding. Like, you don't really have to understand it all.
No, you just have to
just accept it and be okay.
Yeah.
And just
and
let
everything
it happen.
Will be okay.
Yeah, like, you are a straight person, go by that. That's all you need to worry about. Yeah. I've seen like people come on TikTok and they'll like go and interview, what are your pronouns? And they'll be like, oh, I don't do pronouns. Oh, okay. So what do I call you when I'm referring to you?
Yeah.
Dude? Yeah, it? He's like, well, no, you would say he. I'm like, oh, so you do have a pronoun.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
He. And like, just making them realize like, it's not that scary.
Yeah,
it's just a fucking like,
it's literally from the dawn of time.
Yeah.
That's how we talk to somebody. Like, oh, she did this, he did that, they did this, right? Like, fucking get over it.
So I think that as millennials, we're starting to have kids now, and this is our time to start having the children. I feel like it is hugely important to have these conversations,
big time,
with the youth. Big
time. Have and you know, like, take them to a pride parade. Take them to a drag show.
Do what you feel comfortable with. Like, I feel somewhat progressive mom. I talk to them about literally everything. I tell them, I have 2 boys, and I'm sorry if this is gross, but I tell them when I'm on my period, because I tell them to watch out. I tell them I'm going to be grumpier. You know, and I've explained to them what it is. Like, I'm not afraid to have these conversations, and why we are. Yeah, we shouldn't be. That's the thing.
So, like, what do you think that having these fucking conversations with them, do you think it's going to create a monster? No, it's going to do the complete opposite. That's what people don't understand.
That, like, the fear is a driving force for a lot of damn terrible shit. So I ask that if you feel comfortable, do whatever your level of comfortable is with your kids, and make sure that they're aware that love is all around. I keep seeing flags everywhere.
It's a beautiful sight.
It's a beautiful sight. I follow, like, do you know who the highest, like, the most popular drag?
Katya?
Number 2.
Who's the first one then?
Trixie.
True. Trixie Mattel.
Trixie Mattel and Katya are literally my 2 favorite.
Yeah, they're great.
They have a little podcast show together. They also have a little thing on Wow Presents. I freaking love watching them. They're
hilarious. They are so fucking funny.
And they just, like, they talk so poorly about their male selves. It's hilarious. They so know the problem. Like, they see the problem in men, and that's the funniest thing about, like, you know, gay individuals. And
we're just like, yes, queen.
But one of their episodes, I think they also did an episode on Pride somewhat recently, because they do shows. They do have a podcast, but they also have a show, like I said, on Wow Presents, where they talk about very random things, like color, or, like, you know, kind of like us, but they have a lot more editing, so it's way more entertaining to watch. But they had an episode about Pride, and they talked about the flag, and they talked about what that means to them and how they feel about it. So initially they both say, well, Katya more so does not like that the rainbow has become this symbol for them. They're like, it's too gay, you know, in a way. It's too much. But Trixie made a very, very, to me, pivotal point, which is, for any individual within that community, if they see that flag, they know that they are safe.
So it is like,
here's your people. Come.
Exactly, right? Like how countries have flags. It's the same kind of, I mean, I get the hesitation, but at the same time, I understand that it is, it's a safe haven community. Like, we support you. We're an ally. Like, we, you know.
I think that what they were going off about was the fact that it was such a, like, so thrown up in your face, basically.
It is. I mean, well, you got to look at all the, like, large corporations, too. There's a big thing right now where, you know, it's Pride Month, but every single corporation is putting the pride flag on all their fucking products, and it's like streets are having the walkways are pride, the rainbow, which I love that, because I think our world has less color and we need a little bit more color. Remember when houses were like yellow and pink and blue, and cars were yellow and pink and now blue? Everything is gray and white and black, and that's beige.
So bring the rainbows. Honestly, I'm down for the color.
Me too.
Let it happen.
I enjoy it. The
all
more color, the better.
And their flags are way more fun than any of our fucking flags.
I know. I mean, the Canada flag isn't bad, though. I don't mind it. I like the leaf on it.
Cool. Like, it's literally 2 colors, one symbol.
At least it's...
I mean, Japan is just 2 colors and 1 symbol, too. I mean, the flags, I just like the brightness and the fun.
Me too. I'm into it.
That's the people in that community are always more accepting and more I'm speaking not within that community, but from my experience with it, way more accepting, because they've had to go through some shit. You know, I've watched many of episodes again of Katya and Trixie talk about how when they were a kid, Trixie, not Katya was very accepting of her gayness and wanting to be like, teacher in 3rd grade, let me suck on that D. Like she's hilarious. Trixie, on the other hand, tried to suppress the gay. Try to suppress it, which I think a lot of people in this community try to suppress it, thinking that, oh, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not. I mean, you never know until you try it. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean,
maybe we're lesbian and we don't even fucking know.
We had that episode where, it was proven that lesbian partners have orgasms more often.
I know.
Right? Like, come on.
I'm single. Who knows what happens? No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, hey, fucking try it out, girl.
Yep.
Love is love.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, we just wanted to be allies and celebrate Pride and celebrate love today and always, not just for 1 month. Pride is all the time.
Yeah.
So, just keep that in mind. Be an ally, support your friends, your family, your loved ones.
Be there. Sometimes, it's funny. Sometimes it's hard for someone within the community to have that conversation. Maybe they are, I don't know. Do you think people are waiting sometimes to be like, hey,
everybody has their own coming out story, right?
Yeah.
So it takes people longer than others, and some people just never do.
I love the stories when people are saying, they come out and they're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like we knew already.
Yeah.
We knew.
We'd be upset if you were straight.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like,
yeah. But everybody has to do it on their own, in their own way and on their own time, and if they want to, it's everybody's own personal journey.
I have a goal. My goal is to eventually go to a Pride. It is to go with my children at one point, maybe when they're older, but I am going to be one of those people that have a sign that say, if your mom and dad do not support you, I am here for you. Give me a hug, because I will hug the shit out of you.
I know, right?
I don't even like physical touch, but I will.
She'll do it, guys.
Do it.
Next Pride, watch out. All the hugs.
What's our music for today, sweetheart?
Yes, so I chose Katie Lang, who is one of my personal faves. She is from Edmonton, Alberta, so she's a Canadian artist. They called her cowboy punk or something like that. Cowboy country punk.
Oh, interesting.
But so she is a lesbian woman who is a fantastic singer-songwriter. She's actually won Junos before.
Nice.
Like, she's very well known in Canada.
This is one I actually do know who Katie Lang is.
Yeah, so I figured, we'll choose a very strong LGBTQ plus supporter.
Nice.
And feature her. So give her a check out. She's great.
Here's one of her songs.
Yeah, so that's who we chose today. And I guess we will see you guys in about a month or two.
Wow. I hope you all have a happy Pride. I hope that you're all there to support one another.
Yeah.
Share some love. Remember to hug your guy friends, your girlfriends, and everybody around you, no matter what, because it's not anything wrong to show love for each other.
Exactly.
It's just love.
Just show the love.
Show love.
Show the love. But anyways, on that note, let's boogie.
Catch you on the flip side.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye. See ya.